Welcome back. I'm going to show you a type now that, well, I don't recommend using, but it's still there. It still has some use cases, but please be careful. I'm going to do some exclamation marks here because this is something that if you're using it, you want to make sure that you're using it right. And that's the any type. Let me make more space over here. We can say let whatever be of any type. And let's be dramatic over here. No. If I save, it works. And whatever can be whatever we want. For example, I can say whatever equals to 5. Oh, I can't spell. All right, no compilation errors. I can do true. I can do, let's do size.small from above. All right, that works too. And I can even do, let's say, whatever equals basket, which is the tuple from up here. And no errors. You see, any type, as the name suggests, can be any type that we want. And you're thinking to yourself, so what's the point of any? I mean, isn't JavaScript just pretty much the any type where we don't have static typing? Why would you ever want to use this? And you're right. By using this, you're neglecting all the benefits that TypeScript would give you because whatever will never throw out an error. It can be whatever we want. But any is useful for cases, let's say, where you're working on converting your code, your JavaScript code, into TypeScript code. And that might take a long time. And in the meantime, you might want to just place any for really complicated functions or really complicated objects that we can't right away define them like we have here. But again, be very cautious. You're pretty much not using the benefits of TypeScript at all. So if you have any all over your code base, then you're not really using TypeScript properly. Another interesting one that we can learn about is something called void. And void is quite common when we're working with function. Let's say we had a sing function, and this sing function doesn't return anything. It's just going to have console.log. Or just to be more expressive, we have no return statement here. We're just going to do console.log. La, 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 la. Beautiful song. Now, in here, if we add types to it, because this function isn't returning anything, we say void for nothing returned. And you see that it's not failing. If we do return something, let's say that we return la, la, we get an error because we're expecting no return, but we are indeed returning something. Again, we get that nice hint from TypeScript in our editor. So now if we're returning la la, I can just say string and everything works. But let's keep it the way it was, using void for any function that doesn't return anything. There's also a type of, again, let's make more space, of never. Now this is a tough one. What do you think it does? Let me show you by code. We can say let error equal to the error function that simply throws an error. Oops. If I save this, nothing's happening, but if I give it a type of never, there you go, it passes. So it recognizes the type of never. If I do void, it still works because we're not returning anything. But if I do something like string, it's working as well. So what does that mean? Never type actually tests two things. One is that a function never returns. And the other one is that a variable under some sort of a type guard is never true. For example, in our case, when we throw an error, Typescript infers the never type because the function neither has a return type nor a reachable endpoint. So this works. And if I do return hello and I save, I get an error. We get an unreachable code error. But if I bring this, or hold on, make sure we get this to never, we go up and save. And we see that we get two errors. One for unreachable code, which that makes sense. And type hello is not assignable to type never. If I comment this out and save, again, I get that error once again because we're returning something. Let's go back to the error and everything is compiling properly. You might be wondering, what if I put never in here? Save. We see that a function returning never cannot have a reachable endpoint because this function runs and has an endpoint. It does console log and then it ends. So remember, never is for a function that doesn't return and doesn't have that endpoint. Usually throws an error. All right, that's it for now. More types in the next video. Bye-bye.